NXT. Capitol Wrestling Center, Orlando, Florida. Wade Barrett, Vic Joseph. It's the go-home show for Worlds Collide, and that means we should be in for the hard push towards the show. Since we currently have a 2-match card, I'm expecting quite a few matches to be added to the show this week. I'm not sure what that is going to be, but it almost has to happen. Let's get to it. Grayson Waller vs. Apollo Crews. Crews' intro cuts off Waller's pre-match speech, much to Barrett's annoyance. Crews grabs a headlock to start as commentary talks about his random visions, which just aren't going to be explained. Waller fights out but gets drop-kicked down, allowing Crews to dribble an invisible basketball and dance a bit. The very delayed vertical suplex slam puts Waller back down, but he seems to go to the eye to get a breather. A medic comes out to check on Crews and we take a break. Back with Crews fighting out of a chinlock, but his slingshot helo is countered into a sleeper. Crews breaks out of that too and kicks him in the head, but Waller gets in a shot of his own to slow him down. The rolling stunner is almost countered into a spinebuster, only to have the second attempt connect to give Waller the pin at 11-13. Waller's push continues, even if it doesn't seem to be going anywhere anytime soon. At the same time, Crews seems to be in NXT to put others over, and that might be the best use for him. You could put him into a title hunt almost immediately, or even bring him back to the main roster, but for now, this seems to be about it for him. Braun Breaker is in the locker room when Finn Balor pops up to say he made the NXT title the standard. He's also beaten people twice his size, so don't underestimate Tyler Bate. Non-title. Niall takes Carter down for an early 2 and Sunset flips her for the same. Chance comes in to roll Paxley up for 2 more, followed by a double clothesline for a double knockdown. As they're both down, we see that Toxic Attraction has left the Toxic Lounge. Cue Gigi Dolan and JC Jane for a distraction, which draws Niall away. The 450/ neckbreaker combination finishes Paxley at 4:16. Not much to this one, but it does say something that NXT seems to have some teams that can be thrown out there every now and then. It wasn't exactly a great match and was there for the sake of the Toxic Attraction run-in, but at least the champs got a win. Now just find some better challengers for the champs and start making them seem better. Here is Schism, with Joe Gacy being proud of the Dyad's efforts. He's so happy that they get smiley face pins to show how great they are. They are moving up the Schism's tree, and yes, there is a graphic. The Dyad is rather pleased with what they're doing, but for now, Joe Gacy wants to talk about Cameron Grimes. He can never be happy without the Schism, so here is Grimes to answer. Cue Grimes, who says the team has been after him for a few weeks but he has realized he doesn't need them. Gacy talks about how Grimes keeps failing and has not titles, but Grimes still isn't interested. That makes Gacy bring up Grimes' dead father, and that's enough for the fight. Grimes cleans house, but walks into Gacy's handspring ... hug? Grimes leaves and is rather confused. I'm rather confused as to why Gacy, who might be the worst thing in wrestling, is still around. Tyler Bate is in the back when Finlay comes in to say there's a call for him. Pete Dunne is on a tablet and says go unify those titles for NXT UK. Yes, Dunne, not Butch. Henley goes after Legend to start but gets choked on the ropes for her efforts. Wilson comes in and gets slapped by Henley, allowing Briggs to come in for the big shoulder. It's off to Prince, who comes off the top and lands in an atomic drop. Henley kicks Legend down and gets launched over the top onto all 3 villains as we take a break. Back with Briggs getting knocked down and pounded by Wilson, setting up some choking from the floor. The chinlock goes on but Briggs powers over and brings in Jensen to start cleaning house. Jensen and Prince knock each other down, so Jensen goes for the tag, only to have Gallus come out. The women get in a fight, leaving Joe Coffey to kick Jensen into a roll-up to give Prince the pin at 11:31. This was all about getting Gallus out there and probably helping to set up the four-way for both sets of tag team titles at the pay-per-view. The distraction helps keep the champs looking okay, and Henley vs Legend was at least energetic. It's still the weakest title match at the moment, but at least they seem to have a direction. Shayna Baszler comes in to see Mandy Rose, who says she'll be passing Baszler soon. Baszler tells her to unify the titles or nothing from the last year matters. JD McDonagh twists the McCube around and says people find him creepy, including Wesley. He doesn't care about what people think or about things like feelings. Did you know McDonagh is weird? I don't know if they made that clear enough. Andre Chase vs Charlie Dempsey. Chase U is here with Chase, as you might have guessed. They go with the grappling to start, with neither being able to get very far. A test of strength results in them flipping down to the mat, with no one getting an advantage. Chase starts working on the arm to take over, but Dempsey isn't having any of that. Instead, Dempsey pulls him down into a string of holds, from a Fujiwara armbar into an STF into something like a regal stretch. Bodie Hayward annoys Dempsey though, causing him to let go and suplex Hayward on the floor. That's enough of a distraction to let Chase grab a roll-up pin at 5:11. Kiana James vs Zoe Stark. Stark starts fast and knocks her down, setting up a springboard corkscrew dive for 2. A quick trip to the floor goes badly for James, but she's right back with an armbar inside. Stark fights up and hits a running knee for 2 of her own, setting up the flipping knee for the pin at 4:20. Another short match that didn't have the time to go very far, but Stark winning gives her a nice boost back up. James is someone with charisma and a different kind of character, but she hasn't actually done much yet. She shouldn't have started doing so here either, so this was the right way to go. Nathan Fraser and someone else are reading WWE comic books. Fraser misses NXT UK and says the guy next to him wouldn't know what that's like. It's Axiom, who agrees to face Fraser in a British rounds match under Heritage Cup rules at Worlds Collide. Then they trade comic books. Gallus vs Diamond Mine. Brutus has to fight out of early trouble and gut-wrench suplexes Mark, allowing the tag off to Kemp for a waistlock. Everything breaks down and Diamond Mine tries stereo submissions to send us to a break. Back with Julius powering Joe up for a release slam, setting up the ankle lock. Mark trips Julius on the apron though, and some shots to the back keep him in trouble. Julius fights out of Joe's chin lock and Wolfgang's front face lock but still can't make the tag. A missed charge allows the tag off to Kemp to clean house, but here is Roderick Strong with his phone. Kemp throws it on the floor for a stomping, but the distraction lets Joe hit all the best for the bells for the pin at 11 o'clock. Much like the other 6-man, this was a bunch of waiting around until we got to the important stuff with the interference. You knew there was going to be someone getting involved somehow, and in this case, it was Strong messing things up for his own team. Gallus are fine as the bullies and the creeds are growing on me, so this was at least decent until the obvious ending. Braun Breaker is in the back watching when Ciampa sits down next to him. Ciampa holds the title and talks about what he helped make it mean. It's Breaker's world now and he has to defend the brand. Here are Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams to demand to know who Hayes is facing at Worlds Collide. Hayes has already unified titles, so this is nothing new for him. He isn't a secondary champion and the lack of competition means he is not going to Worlds Collide. There is no one on his level or on a level beneath him. Then the lights go out and it apostrophes ... Ricochet. Hayes, look, he got a microphone. I don't know if he knows how to use it though. Ricochet thinks SmackDown needs to be part of Worlds Collide. While he respects Hayes and all his title defenses, he can't actually remember any of them. That's why Ricochet is ready to give Hayes one to remember, which has Hayes ready to fight. Williams gets kicked down and Hayes springboards into a recoil, leaving Ricochet to pose to end the show. Ricochet is a good choice as he means something around here and he probably wasn't on a lot of radar. Just don't let him talk that much.